car. Dancing around is great. I don't want anything...
Everything has to be difficult.
The movie that we made is almost identical to what I walked away with from John Krakauer's book.
When the film opens, Chris is in Atlanta and he's just graduating Emory University. And he's right at the juncture in his life where he's gonna make that big decision. He's done with school and now he's gonna be done with Chris McCandless.
It was inevitable that Chris would break away. And when he did, he would do it with characteristic immoderation.
When he decided to kind of go on his adventure, that's one of the most kind of controversial and puzzling aspects to the story was that he just left. He didn't leave a note for his sister. He didn't tell his mother and father. He just left.
When I walk beside her, I am a better man. When I look to leave her, I always stagger back again.
What's really beautiful about the decision that he made was that it was his, and it was full of whatever was driving him, and he was reacting completely and 100% by his heart.
So you're a leather now?
I'm a leather?
That's what they call the ones that hoof it, on foot. Some people are just searchers, and he was one of them. He was a thoughtful young man and had to see things for himself.
After the check comes in, I think I'm gonna try to find some big old mountains I can climb every day till spring comes. It is a story where so much of the film does take place in the wild where he's alone. When he is on land, you know, you need the relationships to be meaningful and to not be arbitrary and to have significance and purpose.
So what do you think about all this?
I like all this. He really embraced everybody he met on the road and tried to treat everybody as an equal. And he made a lot of friends that way. I'm going to Alaska.
Alaska, Alaska? Or City, Alaska, because they do have markets in Alaska.
Nowhere in the film do you see him do anything but try to ennoble every situation he confronts. He tries to see the goodness in it, and he does.
You should make a radical change in your lifestyle. And there you are. Stubborn old man, sitting on your butt.
I'll show you, sitting on my butt.
Every person he comes across, he learns something or teaches something of great value.
As a parent, I can imagine how horrific it must be to know that your child is somewhere and you don't know where.
Your folks know where you are.
I wasn't dreaming, Walt. I didn't imagine it. I heard him. I heard Chris.
He survives so many difficult situations which, any one of which you might not have walked away from.
I want to have as much of a chronological approach on this as possible. At the same time, I need these extremes, and I also need the weather conditions to change in the places where these things occur, all simultaneously in an 8-month shooting period.
We had to shoot out the snow in Alaska, so we went into production a little bit earlier than we had originally intended. And then we shot some other stuff and then came back to Alaska. We kept on coming back to Alaska. I think we made 4 or 5 separate trips to shoot in Alaska.
Emil had the worst of it because at least we had, you know, if we were standing up and working, we had something to do when in between takes. He just had to sit there and be cold while he waited for us.
All right, in Gordon's clearing, and roll it.
When it was snowy and cold, I was always freezing in the bus. And then when it was warm and fun, I was having a great time.
With some mystery to me, we have agreed, with which we have agreed.
You know, they always say it's really hard when you're an actor to be by yourself in a scene, and that was what all of it was.
Until you have it all, you won't be free.
So it was just discovering the nature around me in this amazing bus, and it became this home.
You're a crazy breed. I hope you're not lonely without me.
There was one voice that kept coming back to me that represented the kind of musical soul of that character that I was shooting every day, and that was Eddie Vedder.
And when you think more than you want, your thoughts begin to bleed. I think I need to find a bigger place. 'Cause when you have more than you think, you need more space.
So when he agreed to come on, that for me rose the bar.
Society.
Maybe he saw the music as being useful in telling the story. You know, some interior voice of the character and leading you comfortably from one bit to the next.
Society, crazy indeed. I hope you're not lonely without me.
He wasn't just running from something, he was running for something and towards something and trying to dig out the truth. And I think that should be romanticized.
I'd never seen anybody have as difficult a job as an actor as that one was. Cannot imagine having made the movie without Emile Hirsch. And I often had to remind myself how difficult it was because he didn't show it very often. 8 months of a kind of monkish existence with incredibly physically demanding 24 hours a day.
Everyone has that need for adventure, and he's someone who did it, who went for it.